Is the price of an NBA championship worth selling the soul of your franchise? That is the brutal, gut-wrenching question currently suffocating the Los Angeles Lakers organization. We aren't just talking about moving pieces on a chessboard here. We are talking about a potential betrayal that cuts deep into the emotional fabric of the fan base. The trade deadline is less than 2 weeks away, and the air in Los Angeles is thick with tension, anxiety, and the smell of a blockbuster deal that could either save the Luka Doncic era or burn it to the ground before it truly ignites. The catalyst for this hysteria? None other than Rich Paul, the power broker behind the scenes, who went on the Game Over podcast and dropped a tactical nuke right into the middle of the Lakers' front office. His proposition is as cold as it is calculating. Send fan-favorite Austin Reaves to the Memphis Grizzlies in exchange for former Defensive Player of the Year Jaren Jackson Jr. and the gritty Vince Williams Jr. To understand the gravity of this moment, you have to look at the context. Austin Reaves isn't just a player. He is the embodiment of the Laker dream, the undrafted underdog who fought his way into the starting lineup and earned the trust of legends. But sentimentality doesn't hang banners. Right now, Reeves is watching from the sidelines with a calf injury, helpless as the Lakers' defense collapses night after night. The team is currently ranked in the bottom third of the league in defensive efficiency, a statistic that usually screams first-round exit. Meanwhile, Luka Doncic is performing Herculean feats on offense, carrying a usage rate that is physically unsustainable, desperately looking for someone to cover his back on the other end of the floor. Rich Paul's logic is terrifyingly sound. He argued that if you are building around Luka, you need an anchor, not another ball handler. There's a world where you can do what's best for your team, and do what's best for Austin, Paul stated, suggesting that Reeves deserves a max contract that Memphis is willing to pay, while the Lakers need the defensive identity that Jackson provides. This has split the fan base right down the middle. One half of Laker Nation is furious, viewing this as a soulless corporate move that punishes loyalty and chemistry. They remember the mistakes of the past, trading away glue guys like Alex Caruso, and see this as repeating history. The other half looks at the standings, looks at the abysmal perimeter defense, and realizes that without a radical change, Luka's prime years in purple and gold are being wasted. We have seen this script before in NBA history. Think back to the Toronto Raptors trading DeMar DeRozan for Kawhi Leonard. It was heartbreaking, it was controversial, and it was seen as a betrayal of a franchise icon. But it resulted in a championship. The Lakers are standing at that exact precipice. The front office knows that Austin Reaves expects a massive pay raise this summer. We are talking about a max extension. Can Pelinka justify paying $30 million plus to a guard who overlaps skillfully with Luka while the team gets torched in the paint? The tension is palpable. Every insider knows that a move is coming, but trading Reeves feels different. It feels personal. As we inch closer to the deadline, the question remains, are the Lakers brave enough to break their own heart to fix their broken defense? Let's strip away the emotion and look at the cold, hard mechanics of this potential earthquake, because on paper, this trade is a masterclass in roster optimization, but it comes with massive risks. According to the framework discussed by insiders like Eric Pincus, the deal would send Jaren Jackson Jr. and Vince Williams Jr. to Los Angeles, while the Grizzlies receive Austin Reaves, Rui Hachimura, Maxi Kleber, and a trade exception. This isn't just a trade, it's a philosophical pivot. The Lakers would be transitioning from a scoring versatility model to a defensive dominance model. First, look at what Jaren Jackson Jr. brings. We are talking about the Block Panther, a 6 feet 11 inches unicorn who anchored a top-tier defense in Memphis and won the DPOY in 2023. His fit with Luka Doncic is arguably perfect in a theoretical sense. Luka, throughout his career in Dallas, always operated best when he had a rim-running, shot-blocking big who could also pop out to the three-point line. Jackson is the ultimate evolution of that archetype. He averages 3.0 blocks per game, erasing mistakes at the rim, which allows perimeter defenders to press up aggressively. Currently, the Lakers' defense is bleeding out because once an opponent beats the first line of defense, there is no resistance at the cup. Jackson changes that geometry instantly. Furthermore, he doesn't need the ball. In an offense dominated by Luka's high-usage heliocentric style, you need players who are effective without dribbling. Jackson thrives in the dunker spot and the corners, waiting for Luka's laser passes. Then there is the inclusion of Vince Williams Jr. Do not sleep on this piece of the puzzle. He is a defensive bulldog, exactly the type of gritty wing the Lakers have been missing since the departure of their best perimeter stoppers. He brings an edge and toughness that you cannot teach. However, the cost is astronomical. Losing Austin Reaves means losing your secondary playmaker, your break glass in case of emergency scorer who can create his own shot when Luka is trapped or resting. Reeves averaged 18.4 points in the playoffs, proving he is not just a regular season wonder. If you trade him, the entire ball handling load falls onto Luka's shoulders. We have seen what happens when Luka wears down in the fourth quarter because he has had to do everything for 40 minutes. Financial implications are also driving this bus. The salary cap is a cruel master. Reeves is due for a massive payday, likely in the $130 to $140 million range over 4 years. Memphis, looking for a stable point guard / creator to pair with or ensure against Ja Morant's availability, has the cap space and the desperation to pay that. The Lakers, already top-heavy with salaries, might view Jackson's contract, which is high but locked in, as a better allocation of resources than paying a third star who plays the same position as their primary star. But here is the contextual expansion we need to consider: chemistry. The Lakers' locker room loves Reeves. He is the connector. Disrupting that midseason, especially when the team is fragile, could tank morale. Remember the Russell Westbrook trade? That was a move made for talent that destroyed chemistry. If Jackson arrives and struggles with foul trouble, his career-long Achilles heel, or if his injury history flares up, the Lakers will have traded a sure thing for a lemon. The analytics say, do the deal. The heart says, keep the kid. It is a clash of ideologies that will define Rob Pelinka's legacy. We have arrived at the final buzzer, and the Lakers' front office is staring down the barrel of a decision that allows no middle ground. There is no wait and see anymore. The clock is ticking, and silence is not an option. If the Lakers do nothing and flame out in the first round because they couldn't stop a nosebleed on defense, the narrative will be, they were too scared to trade Reeves. If they pull the trigger, trade their homegrown hero, and the chemistry implodes, the narrative will be, they sold their soul and got nothing. It is a classic catch-22, but that is the price of managing a franchise where championships are the only currency that matters. Let's project the future for a second. Imagine a playoff series against the elite guards of the West, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Anthony Edwards, or Steph Curry. With the current roster, the Lakers are essentially hoping to outscore them in a shootout, a dangerous game to play when your defense is ranked 23rd. Now, imagine that same series with Jaren Jackson Jr. patrolling the paint and Vince Williams Jr. harassing the perimeter. Suddenly, the Lakers have a defensive identity. They can switch, they can trap, and they can protect the rim. It gives Luka Doncic the one thing he has never truly had: a defense that can win games when his shot isn't falling. This trade isn't just about fixing today, it's about maximizing the window of a generational talent in Luka. However, we must respect the voice of the people. A massive segment of the fanbase believes that Austin Reaves is the heart of this team. They argue that his development is not finished and that trading him to a small market like Memphis is a slap in the face to player development. They fear that without Reeves' secondary creation, the offense will stagnate, becoming too predictable with Luka doing everything. And they might be right. The risk of burnout for Luka increases significantly if there is no one else who can run a pick and roll effectively. Ultimately, this comes down to what you value more: the proven, gritty, offensive spark of a homegrown talent or the high-ceiling defensive transformation of a former DPOY. Rich Paul has forced the conversation, but the fans will have to live with the result. The Lakers are trying to thread a needle while riding a roller coaster, and someone is going to get hurt. Will it be the fans' feelings or the team's championship odds? So, I'm turning the GM chair over to you guys, because this is the most polarizing debate of the season. I need you to be brutally honest in the comments right now. If you are Rob Pelinka, do you pull the trigger? Are you trading Austin Reaves to bring in Jaren Jackson Jr. and fix the defense? Or are you riding with Reeves and betting on chemistry over calculus? Is loyalty dead? Or is it the secret sauce to winning? Drop a Team Reeves or Team JJJ in the comments below. I want to see where the majority stands on this blockbuster scenario. And listen, if you enjoyed this deep dive into the chaos of the trade deadline, do me a huge favor. Destroy that like button and subscribe for more exclusive updates. We are watching history unfold, and you do not want to miss what happens next. I'll see you in the next one.